This is the third and final part for Word Chapter 2. This is about page formatting and image formatting. We covered page formatting in the first lecture, but I want to talk about a couple of other page formatting items. Headers and footers are part of page formatting. Columns are also part of page formatting. So if I come here to columns and say I want 2 columns, then this is arranged in 2 columns. I can do 3 columns. Let me go back to 1. Another thing that you might do every once in a while is insert a continuous section break. I'm going to insert 2 of them here. So this allows me to have different page formatting on the same page, and now I'm going to select this text in between the continuous section breaks and say that I want 2 columns, and there I have 2 columns in the middle of the document. Another page formatting thing is margins. If you need to have different margins in different parts of your document, of course you'll need a section break for that. If you need to have a landscape page or 2 in your document, you'll have to have section breaks in between the portrait pages and the landscape pages. Now let's put an image in the document and talk about the different ways that might work. So I'll just put some clip art in. Oh, here's a... let's see if we can find a better picture of a camera than that. Let's see, I just want clip art, not photographs. There we go. There's a nice one. So I'm going to choose the menu here and say insert, and it's going to insert it at the location of the cursor. Now I'll close the clip art sidebar. Now when I click on this, I can, if I drag a corner, it grows or shrinks the picture proportionally. If I drag on one of the sides, and I'm going to do Control Z to undo that, then I squish or squeeze the picture. You'll see that this dot here, when I point to it, I get a little circular arrow, and when I drag that, I can rotate the picture 360 degrees as I wish. This will work for any kind of graphic that you insert into the document. You can also do what's called cropping. So I'm going to click, once I have a picture selected, I can click on the Format tab. So what I've done before this is I've limited the size of the picture by shrinking it and growing it, but cropping allows you see the handles here change. When I crop it, then I'm going to cut the size of the picture down by restricting what I see in the picture. So if I wanted just the lens, I can crop down to just the lens, and then once I click outside, now that whole graphic is still stored in my document, but I've just changed what my view of it is. And now when I click on it, now that I'm not cropping, I can make it larger or smaller. I can squeeze it and shrink it. Another thing about having a graphic in your document is when you move it around in the document, you may want to control how the text flows around that graphic. And the way that I like to deal with this is I like to right click on it and choose Wrap Text. And as I go through, let me scroll up here so that you can see what I'm doing. Well, it still goes off of the screen that you can see, but here is square, here is tight, here is the text going through the document, through the graphic. Top and bottom means it does not go off to the side. Behind the text means that the graphic is behind the text. And when you do that, you hope that you can click on the graphic again. Let me hit Control-Z to undo that. And in front of text means that it's blocking the text. Now, one thing that you might do with it behind the text is if you select one of the washout kind of picture corrections, or you desaturate the image, then when you put it in the back, then it acts as a watermark. So you can edit an image and desaturate it like this and then use it using the watermark menu, or you can just insert it in your document, put it behind the text. Now, it won't appear on every page like a watermark does. This also is a useful thing to know for PowerPoint slides, is taking an image, desaturating it, putting it behind the text so it acts as sort of a watermark on your page. And that is the end of the lecture for things in Word Chapter 2.